My name is Jana Farmer. We call our business Ms. Jana's Candy. I have the funnest story about starting a business. I am actually a seamstress by trade. I used to make ice skaters, costumes. I used to sew for the theater. But one thing my mom would often ask me to do is send her peanut brittle. Never made candy before in my life. Nobody in my family ever made candy, but I said, shoot, I'm gonna learn how to make peanut brittle. And so, because my mom laughed at me, now I was doubling down. I was gonna make sure I learned how to make peanut brittle. And I set out to learn to make peanut brittle. I started reading recipes. Not only would I read the recipes, I used to read all the feedback, all the comments. It took me about a year and a half to get it right. But towards the end, I kind of mastered the technique. And that day I sent her that real good one, and my mom said, "Oh my goodness, that's way better than the stuff I eat." And she said, "Never change a thing." 2016, my cousin asked me to send candy to her women's Bible study group in Dallas, Texas. 2017, all those women sent an order. They asked me to make candy for them. I started off by, I made a little website, and then I started cooking candy. When I put up my website and I decided I was going to sell candy, I had 3 pots and 3 thermometers, and I was on the World Wide Web as a candy maker. So what was difficult for me was, while I kind of talk a lot and I mingle good and all that, there's a place where it's terrifying to ask people to try what you have. I needed to get to the place where I could sell candy to people who would pay for it what I wanted them to pay for it.
Right.
You know, that's not? That's not your church friends.
Right.
That's not your cousins.
Right.
It's not your family.
Right.
It's not their neighbors. If you're going to sell, if you're going to offer a product, you got to go fishing. You got to launch out into the deep. You have to make yourself uncomfortable.
That's right.
And you have to believe in your product. You have to learn how to listen. That was one of the things that I learned to do. I learned to listen. They would say, "Tell me about your candy." And I would give them the elevator speech. I learned how to tell them about the ingredients and what I could do for them. And then I'd say to them, "Tell me about what you do." And then they tell me, and then I'd say, "Wow, we can make labels for you. We can send out your gifts." So now it's reciprocal. I'm giving them a value. They're curious because the candy is good, but I don't want them just to buy candy for themselves or take home to the husband or the wife. I want them to buy for their tea. I want them to buy because the money is in getting to big business. It's not on the one-on-one through the door. So that was it. I had to become comfortable with being uncomfortable. What I'm saying is, business, if you're going to be in business, you need to be in business for the long haul. It is not going to happen. It did not happen overnight for us, although we had a lot of advantage. Because I put myself in a position to be uncomfortable, I inserted myself into places. I would tell people what I could do for them. People saw that, they trusted me, and then they gave me chances. God is everything in my business. I started selling candy, and I'm selling candy, I'm making money. That's why I didn't go in this to be cute. I didn't go in it to be evangelist. I have my church and I have my work. I have my family. I keep all of those things separate. But you never are separate from God. You just aren't. You just aren't. It's like you can be separated from your eyes or from your ears. You are who you are in the marketplace. God makes me act like there's always somebody watching me in the mirror. When I drop stuff on the floor, that I throw it away. I'm gonna do that anyway. But I always feel like I'm answerable. That my integrity is there, that I give my word and then I follow it up. That when I promise something, I fulfill it, that I say please and thank you, that I walk humbly before the customers I'm with, and then I yield myself as a servant to the people who buy from me. We take on that characteristic. What I find is that then people open up to me, and I have these opportunities often to share my faith. God is everything to me in what I do.
Wonderful. Thank you.